PMAX versus shopping campaigns. Why standard shopping sucks in comparison to Performance Max campaigns in today's environment. The reality is PMAX, while it has plenty of its own flaws, we can't have everything we want. Shopping campaigns can't hold up a light or a candle to what you can get with PMAX campaigns for multiple reasons. I'm going to go through what those multiple reasons are, namely the matching of the customers that you've defined. The ability for PMAX to find you customers is much better with PMAX than with Smart Shopping. And it's a lot more efficient in general. It hones in on the customers the people that are more likely to buy more, and it cuts out a lot of the waste, in other words. So, but there is a specific way you have to also set up PMAX in order to get this benefit, and it actually to do better than regular standard shopping for the most part. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what those secrets are and have everything you need to literally at least triple what you would get out of a standard shopping campaign. So if you're running standard shopping right now, want to triple how much money you're making, profit-wise, not sales-wise, but profit-wise, then you need to watch this video and understand the way that I set up PMAX campaigns every time to guarantee results for our clients' campaigns, because that's what we do at our ad agency too. So with that said, while I do love the level of control you get with regular shopping campaigns, particularly as you can do bid adjustments. You can adjust your bids on the time of the day of the week, and age, gender, that kind of stuff manually instead of having PMAX just has to, take the reins on it. Yes, I too am a control freak. I like to have control on things, but I also like money, okay? My clients like money. And so when I started to see that PMAX, and before that it was Smart Shopping, which we don't have anymore, beat standard shopping by at least a factor of 3 or more, I just couldn't obviously, hold on to that, one desire of control that everybody wants, which in business, the desire for control and holding on to stuff too long, and not delegating and switching up your plan obviously will hold you back long term. There's a time to not give up, absolutely, and that's a bigger problem that most people have. But long term, you got to be able to study stuff and understand when you need to make a switch and not get complacent either. Well, with PMAX though, if you want the actual strategy that I use on PMAX to at least get the 3x difference in profit you're going to get from running shopping placements, then you got to understand how to only basically get your ads to show up on shopping if you're going to run PMAX, okay? And that is through something called, well, there's not an official name for this. This is just what some people in the PPC community have kind of coined as feed-only campaigns or feed-only setups, where basically what you do with this is when you set up a PMAX campaign after this video to replace your standard shopping and get your 3x increase in profitability from shopping placements in your business and in your market or in your company, what you do is under the ad asset details, you don't put anything, or you put as little as possible. What this does is essentially forces PMAX to only show your ads in the shopping placements, because that's all it has material for. Okay? A lot of people make this mistake. They want to give, because there's blanks, because Google suggests you fill in the blanks to have a high ad strength score, they do it, and then they end up screwing themselves right in the behind. Because now your ad's going to run on Google Display, on the Discovery network, if you want to call it that. It's going to run all kinds of places other than in the Google shopping space, including search, which search is the least worst of them. But when you're trying to run search ads even, you want to run standard search campaigns for that, because you do have more control there and you'll get more return running ads that way there than trying to do that in your PMAX campaign that doesn't have a lot of levers. With shopping placements, it's a different story. You don't need the control. The algorithm actually does a better job getting you conversions and profit ultimately than you could with your own on the standard shopping campaign. So if you run a what we call a feed-only way of running a PMAX campaign. It will basically only show up in the shopping spots, okay? In addition to that, with some of the changes that Google has, or upgrades that Google has made with PMAX since they came out with it, with one being that they let you see more than 30 days worth of search data. So under the Insights menu, it shows you, like what people typed in before clicking on your shopping ad, or ad in general, if you want to say that, but your shopping ad. They tell you what the search phrases were that they typed in originally. And before, it pissed me off because they only showed you 30 days worth of data. And with the 30 days worth of data, unless you were like writing down all the information once a month into some sort of database file and then stacking it up over time, you couldn't really use it much. But now they let you see like 6 months worth of data cumulatively. It's not as good as like with search campaigns where they show you everything and a nice, neat menu. But it's way better than it was before, and you don't have to, and if you didn't save it from last month, you still have access to it. So with that, that data is helpful not only just to build search campaigns, by the way, which any terms that convert into a sale, you should have a search campaign set up that targets that term by itself with a unique ad, so you can nail it as well to maximize your profitability from the learnings of that campaign. But you can use it to then add negative keywords, which I know what you're saying, but Corey, PMAX, I didn't know that PMAX has negative keywords. It does, but you have to know how to add them, which PMAX didn't have it for a while, but now they can have it where if you contact support, you can add negative keywords as well to your PMAX campaign. And then what I'll do is have a PMAX campaign, feed only, for each product category, and then so that when I add the negative keywords, because sometimes negative keywords that apply to one product don't apply to another, so I can have unique negative keyword lists that apply to each product category. If your products are somewhat similar, then maybe you don't need that. You just need one list. But either way, you contact Google support, they'll apply it to the PMAX campaigns for you, since you can't do it on your own. And then that'll clean up a lot of the searches that you don't want to show up for. If you're selling something like, let's just say you're selling printer toner, and you want to run PMAX because it's going to do better than regular standard shopping campaigns, you want to do that, but if you're in that market, which is a market I've been in before, and I've got campaign templates for that market that work well, wait to the end of the video if you want to know if you want to set up those templates to start your own side business doing that. But specifically for running shopping ads in that market, what works is if you're out of printer toner, what do? Pull the toner out of the printer, you look for the part number, and then you go Google the part number. Well, you want to show up for that part number because that's money right there. The person is the most likely to buy out of any potential search they can make. And if they start showing up for people typing in like printer toner, even though that could lead to a sale, it's more than likely not going to lead to a sale. And the probability has to be high enough to make a profit from the ad spend. And so to weed out the people typing in printer toner versus the part number, okay, you need negative keywords still. And so you find over time you build up enough of these general searches that you see that you can add into a negative keyword list that you can then contact support and add to your PMAX campaign. That PMAX campaign will get super profitable over time. So anyway, that's the magic formula, if you will, for the PMAX to get it to work at least 3 times better than shopping, if not 5, 10, 20 times better than shopping over time. But at least 3 times more profitable than shopping basically right away, which is and as a gimme, if you just do the basic stuff, if you just start doing the basic stuff I mentioned here. So the gap, like I said, the gap in performance is huge between the two, between standard shopping and PMAX. You're talking about a factor of 3 or more, 3 minimum. So if you're making 50 grand a month profit from your regular standard shopping now, I guarantee you can make another 100 grand a month going to PMAX. So you must do it. The reason for this is twofold, like I was saying at the very beginning of the video, which is the ROI/ROAS, or return on account spend, is better by over double when you're running PMAX versus standard shopping, because PMAX, when you run the feed-only setup like I'm talking about, runs actually really, really narrow or non-broadly, so that you don't show up for generalized searches. You're showing up for specific searches, because the more specific the search, the more likely the higher the conversion rate is going to be on those searches, on a search, if you will. And for some reason, shopping it runs broader than PMAX anymore. So it cuts out more of the waste, giving you a higher ROI, and then also more impressions or placement of your ads in the shopping space by more than double basically as well. So instead of showing up one time in the shopping space out of the 8 picture ads, we could show up 4, 5, 6 times. I've done this multiple times now, and if you're curious about that, contact me. One of the secrets of this, by the way, is to upload the same product to your product feed twice or 3 times if it's doing well, and it'll start showing up multiple times. There's no official rule against this, but just to give you one of my favorite secrets as it comes to that. But basically, PMAX just is more aggressive in finding you customers as well on top of it, and discovering new ways to get you customers, more searches it should show up for, but more importantly, of the searches, what part of people typing in HP 12 printer toner, which percentage of the people who make that search are customers versus non-customers. They look at all the customers that come through from other people's conversion tracking that have ads running for that term, and then see of the people who made that search went on to buy versus not buy, see the traits that make each one different, and then apply that to your PMAX campaign that you're running now to help you get more customers. Because what it'll do is, so it's not so cut and dry, it'll have you show up for stuff and take what it knows from other person's campaigns and apply it to your campaign. It won't be the same because every business is a little bit different, but it will do all that testing for you with PMAX, more, or at least more so than regular shopping. So PMAX has more machine learning involved in it that can go into finding you stuff that will work that you wouldn't have found with standard shopping, because they're doing super specific testing like that, testing not only what it should show up for, but the people searching, what demographics should they have, i.e. how old they should be, what their household income should be, because that all affects whether the probability of someone converting on one term versus another person. And also such as things as people like, what did they search before they made that search? What sites have they visited? That all plays into the probability of somebody converting into a customer. They figure all that out on their end, and they use that to build your results up from PMAX over time. So that right there is why you're going to get 3 times or greater more profit from running PMAX versus standard shopping. Half of which I would say ultimately is just from being more efficient and not showing up for crap you don't want to show up for. And then the other half is the machine learning that's involved with it that you don't get with regular shopping campaigns. You trade in the control and manual levers of standard shopping for the machine learning element of PMAX. And machine learning, as good as it is today, as good as Google's is today, isn't going to beat you. I don't care how good you are at doing manual bid adjustments on standard shopping. I know, because I used to do it all. I used to teach all the time about how you should do bid adjustments on every single level you can, every time of the day, every day of the week, every device, and so on and so forth. Every single city, state, bid adjustments, unique ones for each one. You just can't beat the machine learning that Google has now. Therefore, you should just run PMAX to keep it simple. So, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully that was clear enough for you. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. If you have any ad-related questions at all, not related to this, feel free to ask anyway in the comment section. I'll be happy to try to help and put you on the right track with what you're doing. If you did like the video, I would appreciate it if you would give back a little bit by giving the video a like, and consider subscribing, as I have tons more content on this channel just like this that'll help you make millions of dollars with your ads. Given it's coming from an ad agency owner who does all the strategy on every single account that comes through our agency, and we manage dozens of accounts at any given time to give you the information that I'm sharing with you on this channel ultimately. So it's coming straight from the source, and it's not coming from some lame YouTuber who doesn't run an ad agency and doesn't really know what's going on, which there's plenty of that on YouTube. Furthermore, if you like my channel though, you can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, as well as my written work on entrepreneur on my column that I have there. So if you like my channel, you'll love my written work even more. As a side, if you are looking for an ad manager to do this kind of stuff for you, hands off, and can get you results for sure. If you work with our agency, we will guarantee a certain minimum increase in your sales before we charge any fees at all. The only catch is you got to have something good, has a lot of potential, but if we work together, we will not take a fee until you've made more profit than essentially what our fee costs. So there's really no reason why you wouldn't want to do that, assuming you want an ad manager to work on your stuff. Out of all the ad managers to pick, we would be the default one to pick. If you want to see if we can work together, I'd be happy to look over your stuff. Reach out to my agency at GarrettTPPC.com and I'll give you an assessment totally for free. We have a conversation over the phone, potentially, about working together, possibly on your stuff. As a side though, I mentioned earlier in my video that we have campaign templates at our agency that we're now selling. In that, we've worked in over 100 different markets at this point over the last 10 years of guaranteed PPC being around. And if we worked in your market before, instead of starting out from scratch, learning all the stuff that you have to learn about your market that works versus doesn't work, you should simply come to us, see if we got a campaign that we've ran in your market before, and just use the templates that we used for your market already. As if I have somebody else that I'm going to work for in the market that I've already been in before, we're just reusing all the templates of the ads, landing page templates, everything again. Why? Because why the hell not, basically. And if you're in that market too, you should use our templates. We sell them for a one-time fee, and we could tell you what results you would get with those templates up front. Furthermore, these templates are working so well, we are selling them to people that start other businesses on the side of just to make extra income, selling the leads or whatnot. Or if you're in services, you want to get into e-commerce, start with a winning campaign. If you're interested in that, reach out to me. I'll let you know what we have and what's available, what results you can get with it. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. Peace out.